An interesting spectator. I know you were commentating for American TV. What did you make of it?
I didn't know. Simoncelli came by and was revving it there, no, I mean, it was a disappointment to not be out there today. You know, the Rizla Suzuki, I think the potential of the bike is really good, and it was a disappointment to see Alvaro fall out of where he was at, and more so just a disappointment that I wasn't out there. I mean, I can't believe I wasn't racing because of some broken fingers, but you know, it is what it is, and it's only a minor setback into to my goal of achieving a full-time again, you know, a full-time MotoGP ride. But you know, right now the main priority is getting it fixed and getting back on the Samsung Credit Suzuki and the British Superbike.
Yeah, we wish you all the best with that, of course, John. But it must have given you a bit of a boost to see Alvaro's performance today and the level of the Suzuki. We can have a look at the crash now. It was an unfortunate incident, but as I said, the pace was there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Rizla Suzuki, I think, has the potential to be into the top 6 pretty consistently. I mean, to see Alvaro crash out was a big shame, you know, because right now is a really crucial time, I think, for the manufacturer of Suzuki to just try and prove that that they do have a good bike, and it should be out there, and you know, that they should be continuing the developments for 2012 into the 1000 machinery. So, I mean, it's a shame, but you know, I think the potential was shown by Suzuki this week. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he did it at Laguna Seca, and you know, he made it happen here. You can never count out Casey Stoner. You know, him on that bike is it's a really good match, and you know, that thing has some serious horsepower, and yeah, I just couldn't believe Danny didn't pull it off after the weekend that he's had, and you know, I definitely didn't expect him to crash out like that, because normally when Danny gets into the lead, you know, that's when he gets the most confident and he's able to pull that gap out. But
front end crash, John, do you think perhaps a tyre gamble different to the one that we saw from Jorge Lorenzo, that was perhaps his downfall?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, with the hotter conditions, I mean, I tried the hardest of the spec front tires when I was here on Friday, and you know, in those conditions, it was slightly cooler, not enough rubber on the ground. I was losing the front, you know, a fair amount, but in these conditions, I would have gambled for the harder front tire. Alvaro ran the medium, you know, front tire, the one he's crashed out the last few races. So, yeah, I mean, I just, yeah, I would have went with the harder one. I think Danny did go with it, but yeah, I mean, it just maybe it didn't have enough heat. I don't know.
The biggest smile in Parc Fermé, always got the biggest hair, hasn't he? What a character, John. He's some talent, isn't he, Marco?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Marco's, he's definitely come into his own this year. Obviously, he's had a few struggles. You know, nothing that's any worse that's in the BSB championship as far as riding tactics. But no, I mean, he's, you know, he's definitely proved he deserves a bike at the front, and you know, definitely with his size and you know, and fitting on that Honda, and that he rides it extremely well. Because I mean, it's a lot harder for him to ride that Honda than it is for Danny and Casey, I think.
It looks like he's on a mini bike sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Honda is actually one of the smaller bikes on the grid, and for him to be fitting on it and riding it so well, for that matter, is no, it's awesome. But yeah, I think he'd get a little more speed if he cut the hair.
That's your advice, okay. Well, one guy who fits on the Honda perfectly is Danny Pedro, so let's just have a look at that crash. For Danny, John, as he said, we think he went for a hard front tire. Probably not had the time on it over the course of the weekend because we had such higher temperatures today for the race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's yeah, it's one of those things, you know, you just gamble on it, and it's unfortunate for him because I would say he deserved the win here with the way that he's been riding all weekend. But you know, at the end of the day, it's the first one to the checkered flag first, and Casey's the one with the consistency right now, which is you know, obviously hasn't been shown in the past. But no, he's doing the job, and you know, he's trying to get that championship this year.
Yeah, I think he can. I'm sure he's going to be a champion of the future. He just, you know, he's still a young kid, and he's still really second year in MotoGP. We know he's got the speed. He's just got to calm things down. He's got the podium now. Can he have a win before the end of the season? Yes, arguably he can. It just depends on how the championship's going and everything else. But a lot of guys will probably be kind of holding their points and being careful with their points towards the end, and he'll be a man that might come towards it right at the end. He was close last year at Valencia.
Yeah, I mean, the problem he's got is he's walking down the pit lane now there behind Casey Stoner. The problem he's got is that he's got to get past other Hondas, and seeing that they're really his employer, Matt, he's got all sorts of difficulty. He's going to play the politics very well, Marco.
just behind us on ground level. The riders walk to. It's a strange old circuit, actually. It's got great natural amphitheatres, John, but a few rickety stands knocking about. And that old podium there, you've stood on it yourself.
Yep, I managed to spray some champagne off of that second spot there, and yeah, 2007. Yeah, it was 2007, and just shows how much the bike and the paces have improved, because I actually on the Friday ended up going 0.6 quicker than I ever did in 2007 on my fastest lap. So
first podium for Marco, first of many, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Marco's proved the talent that he has, and he's got some speed, so no, he's going to be running at the front quite consistently.
Just to wrap it up, John, are we going to see you again before the end of the year?
I sure hope so. I mean, obviously BSB has got my main priority and 100% focus, but already working with Suzuki to try and get out in Malaysia and Valencia.
We hope so too.
Yeah, here. Charlie says we hope so too. Absolutely, couldn't say it better. Thanks, John. Thanks for being with us, and we hope to see you again before the end of the year.
Thank you very much.